What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Chris Abicon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? So, welcome to the podcast. If you're new, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, and I actually do have one almost ready to go out for this upcoming Thursday. And then Fridays, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. You can either listen to us on your podcast platform of choice, YouTube, and now we're on 99.1 FM out in the Atlanta metro area and channel 10 in the Fairfax, DC public access space as well. But without further ado, I give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from thehackernews.com, written by Ravi Lakshmanan. And the title of this one is DeepSeek AI Database Exposed, Over 1 Million Log Lines, Secret Keys Leaked, right? So for those of you that are keeping up with AI, right, DeepSeek is one of those that has come out of nowhere and has gotten really popular, right? So this is, I know I'm the one on the podcast that really talks, I make the jokes, right? AI is going to take over. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about, right? So what ended up happening? So the HTTP interface, right? What ended up happening was they executed an arbitrary SQL query entry, right? Directly via the web browser, right? Using DeepSeek AI. So this is what ends up happening is you have this exposure. There was a million lines of log streams, and it has chat history in it. It has keys in it. It has the backend details for different things, highly sensitive information, right? API secrets, operational metadata. Now, DeepSeek comes out and says, yeah, we plugged the security hole. We're still good now, right? So everything is good to go. But that is not exactly the case, right? So you have to worry about this because everybody is in a rush to have that new next AI, right, that everybody can get into and do things with. So I think what ends up happening is like the security guardrails we talk about all the time, they kind of get, I don't want to say overlooked, but they're not as enforced as they should be. And I think I'm pretty sure that's what happened here, right? So yeah, they fixed it and everything like that, but this is the problem you have to worry about when you start doing all this stuff when it comes to, your DeepSeeks, your chat, what is it called? The popular one. I'm blanking right now.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, I was like, I know it's chat. I'm missing the chat GPT. Like, this is what you have to worry about with these different products that are out there when it comes to AI. But yeah, folks, be careful out there, right? Like, just because you see the new buzzy thing that's coming up, it's no guarantee it's actually protected like it needs to be. You know what I mean? But Chris, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, so my first thoughts were like cybersecurity consulting hat, right? Putting that in perspective. DeepSeek is a startup, right? And they produced a product that is incredible. Right, it's the talk of the town, and it's got the attention of all these nations, all these markets, all these bigwigs. Everybody knows who they are all of a sudden, right? And after this discovery, it led to a, let's just say, financial pitfall or loss, and in some degree, right? You can see how much of the market valuation of Nvidia, right? But I'm not going to go there. You guys can connect the dots. That being said, DeepSeek being one, a startup, and two, getting the attention of not just, pretty much everybody in the IT industry, and also they're getting attention in the from other governments, right? So I'm not really sure how this leak came to be, right? But it sounds like they put a target on themselves because they were the ones initiating change somehow. Status quo is Nvidia is leading the pack with, they're the hardware leader. And all these companies falling into that, right? And I think just from the perspective of change, DeepSeek put a target on themselves. So a lot of people wanted to capitalize on a potential weakness. Again, there are a lot of talks about China and, there's all the privacy regulations and data protection commissions from Ireland, right? Not making sure that DeepSeek apps were unavailable in Italy, right? So certain European countries due to GDPR and things like that. Right. So there is attention from pretty much the entire world on this specific app. So in my head, naturally, as a startup, right, startups are, speaking in broad sense, generally immature when it comes to policies, procedures, and security. But take that like as kind of a lesson, right? Like a lot of startups, they'll look to get, something like a SOC 2 in America, or in this CSF, and just kind of to assess kind of their security posture. But to me, it's like, hey, look, they're a startup. Maybe they've got some type of framework that they're following, but nobody's immune, right? once your product's out there, once you're you make it, you better be able to take the heat. And what happened is, they were not able to take the heat. They were hacked, which was kind of just a natural progression of things to happen, right? And I don't think I think there's a lot of people interested in seeing how they were able to replicate ChatGPT with the level of hardware that they have, right? So that OpenAI is curious if they've scraped some of their code, in their algorithm, right? So I just think it's kind of a natural progression of what were things to come. So I just think that the DeepSeek story, I think it just started, right? This is kind of like chapter 2 in the DeepSeek, arc of 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 cybersecurity. So yeah, I'm just very interested to see what happens next.
So because China's involved, like you can almost guarantee it was a theft of intellectual property of some sort, right? Like this is kind of how it is.
It is possible.
So is it a theft when the thief already stole it? Like, can you be charged with a crime if a thief
That's
steals
true.
from you? It's like
Like OpenAI, they've scraped the entire internet for their data.
I'm not trying to beef with OpenAI, Microsoft, or Nvidia, but I'm just saying, like, if a drug dealer steals, like, if you're a drug dealer and someone comes in, breaks into your house and steals your drugs, can you call the police? Like, can you say, "Hey, someone stole my drugs"?
Mm-hmm.
You
I
can't,
don't know.
you can't call the police, but I think the analogy would be more apt if it was you robbed a drug dealer and then got robbed by someone else, though, right? Like if you're manufacturing on your own, man, I don't want to go down this path. But if you're
Right.
manufacturing on your
You
own,
about to go
like
snowfall on us.
I'm not trying to be Idris, a different Idris.
Right. Stringer Bell or what from The Wire. Um,
So,
it's funny that AI stole AI's job, things of that nature. Or you see memes where you have a guy drinking out of like a coconut with a straw, right? That's supposed to be the internet and it's open AI. And you have DeepSeek put a straw in his mouth. It's kind of nasty, but you get the point, right? I think this is crazy for two reasons, right? Not only because like you guys said, right? You got a disruptor enter the market for a fraction of the price, able to do the same capabilities, right? So obviously there is a target on our back, and it is coming from one of our near peers, right? So we already have a beef with China and the AI arms race, all that good stuff. But to just piggyback off of what Chris said, you have to be bulletproof. You can't emerge in the market and then have this happen to you. Like, so you literally knocked off, like, what was it, like 100 billion in market cap or something like that? Something crazy.
Some crazy number.
The stock market dropped hardest it's ever dropped in history. The company, Nvidia, lost market cap. I think that their market cap loss was also historic. So yeah, people are going to eat you up. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people in powerful positions that have teams that can attack you to assess your ability to withstand. I think they said it was the equivalent to all the traffic in Europe hitting you every day is what they took, like 230 million connections per second or something ridiculous like that. So obviously it's not someone who is just in their basement who's upset that they lost some market share, right? This is it might maybe Cave call it a state sponsor, you might call it a global sponsor at this point, attack them, which is just never been seen before. It's pretty ridiculous. So A, if you're going to enter the market, you have to be bulletproof. B, I think that it does have implications to people ran to this DeepSeek, and and same thing what happened with TikTok, right? When TikTok was going down, people ran to the little red book. I can't pronounce like that. How it's actually pronounced? People have to stop doing this. Like, I don't know how to make people stop doing that. Like, you have to think defensively. Like, hey, what is this new thing? And should I be worried about going to use it? So, like, we don't know what it is or how it's secured. You're going to probably put your PII in there and a bunch of other things because you want to see how it performs to your chat GPT, etc. And now it's been basically shot to all hell, right? People have pulled source code out of it and things of that nature. So you just have to be careful, people. Like, let someone else demo this thing out and make sure it's cool before you jump into it, especially in this case because they're a huge disruptor in the market and they're just moving very fast, right? Like, so we have to hurry up and catch up and then supersede ChatGPT and Llama and Notebook very quickly. And they're building the plane while it's in flight. This is what it appears to be. because they're so easily able to rip it apart. So I think it just goes to show people are hungry for new tech, but they also do not scrutinize their own security and other things. But I think we talk about that pretty much every week on the show.
You got me thinking about that Michael Jordan thing. Stop. Get help.
Yeah, I remember that. Classic. Before memes were memes.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. So definitely continue to check us out throughout the week. So again, Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CSP. I have a few cool ones coming up this upcoming month, and I have a bunch of returning guests hopefully throughout the year. And then Fridays, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Hit us up on all the platforms. They go by our name, The Other Side of the Firewall, The Other Side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. Get me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much on all the platforms. But LinkedIn is where I'm most active. And where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abacon. Last name spelled A Bacon.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.